Hi, everyone. Our meeting is now being recorded. So we are here to talk to you today about onboarding and how to use Google Classroom, which is the interface that you'll be using for all of your assignments. But before we get started, just want to introduce myself. I'm Stephanie Rio. I'm the Director of School and Regional Partnerships here in Philadelphia, which means that I work with you all during onboarding to make sure that you are hired and certified and ready to teach.
Yep. Hey everyone, my name is Camille Williams and I'm the associate for the program team. I also work with onboarding. I'll be your primary point of contact as you're getting through all of your to-do lists and testing and certification and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Claire Saither, and I'm the Director of Program Design here in Philly. That means that I'm responsible for designing all the professional development that you're going to engage in across your 2 years, and working on helping build community with you all before you even get to Philly. So can't wait to meet you all in person, but excited to get to know you virtually before that.
Awesome. So when you confirmed your offer, you received an email from Camille that had a few things in it, one of which was a kickoff survey. Another was an invitation to create your Google ID to join Google Classroom, and then some initial next steps. So what we want to do today is walk you through what you'll see when you join Google Classroom and how to manipulate this interface so that you can complete everything that's required. So the first step that you're going to take is to set up that Google ID. There's going to be instructions in your email. You're going to set up your Google account, which will be a Teach for America email address. And that email address is how we will predominantly communicate with you, and it's also how you'll access Google Classroom. You're also going to get an invitation to join Google Classroom. It may go to your clutter, so make sure to check that once you log into your Teach for America Gmail address. You're going to join Google Classroom as a student, not as a teacher. So when you click join, it may give you the option. Just make sure that you click student when you join. As soon as you join Google Classroom, this is what you're going to see. So what you see on my screen here, you'll be able to see as soon as you come in here. The first, oh, right. Right. The first thing you're going to see is the stream. And this is actually a place where it just updates anytime you make changes. So it's not really the place to spend your time because it's a little bit confusing. Where you want to toggle to is classwork up here. So you're going to see this column essentially that says classwork, and this is where everything will be listed. So the first thing you're going to see is your survey. So you can click this, and you'll see that it's linked right here, which will open you up to the survey to complete it. Similarly, the assignments are listed that way as well in the order of completion. So the other thing you're going to receive is a checklist that's going to give you an overview of all of the things that are required of you during onboarding. Each team is going to have a different checklist. And when we say team, we mean the month that you join the course. So if you joined in October, this first checklist will have all of the due dates for your team or for your October group of people. It's going to have everything that's required on the first page, and then it's also going to include some optional resources and connections on the second page. So make sure to spend some time in this and keep it as a tool to keep your time in Google Classroom a little bit more guided. And then another step you can take is joining the GroupMe. This is a place where you can connect with your peers. You can talk to all the different core members as they continue to join the course throughout onboarding and gain support and make connections there. Sometimes we also use it for announcements as well, so just make sure that you go ahead and add that onto your phone. And then the last thing is registering for your exam. So all of these initial next steps are really important to make sure that you're ready to take on the steps that come next in your process. And we know that taking your tests and passing them is what core members are always most nervous about initially. So we wanted to make sure to include that assignment right away. So you'll find all of the details listed here. And yeah, now I'll kick it to Claire to talk about community building.
Awesome. So like Steph said, you have a lot of tasks to complete sort of when you first join us. It's very important to us that you get that initial testing finished and that you're in Google Classroom, because without having access to those things, you can't step into the classroom and you can't be part of the core. But in addition to that, we recognize that joining Teach for America is part of it is joining a movement, and we want to begin that movement as soon as possible. So we want you not only to get to know us, but we want you to begin building relationships with each other, and to begin the process of reflecting on like who you are, what your story is, and what motivates you and brings you to this work. So in service of that, we have 2 assignments that you're going to complete initially, and then a little later on in the winter, you'll get some more assignments that will help us continue to build communities. But initially, so the first assignment in here is names and faces, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're going to record a short introduction video. You're just going to tell us your name. You're going to share the pronouns that you like to use. You're going to share what you're doing now. So if you're in school, if you're working, whatever it is that takes up the time. And then you're going to describe your high school experience and reflect on what it makes you think about educational equity. So there's instructions in there for where you should upload your video. And then I will be putting them on a private YouTube channel. So don't worry, not everyone in America is going to be able to access your videos, but there'll be a playlist, and you can visit this playlist and get to know some of the other crew members who are going to be joining you here in Philly. So that's one piece. And then the other assignment that we're going to ask you to do is your identity wheel. So when you click on this assignment, there is an activity. So you'll click and open up the identity wheel activity. And this explains to you exactly what you need to do. You're going to think about, what are the social identities that you think about most often, which ones define you, and inside of this document, you can click at the link at the bottom for my example of my wheel. So this is just my own personal identity wheel. We won't go through it all right now. Yours does not need to look like mine. It can look any type of way, but this is just an example for you to look at. So these are really important. I know it can sort of seem like busy work when you're also thinking about important things like testing, but this is really important because the relationships that you build with each other are what's going to sustain you through your experience.
And all of the assignments that we just mentioned all have the same due date. So as soon as you confirm your offer, up until that due date, all of these assignments are all due within that time frame.
Awesome. Can kick it over to you now. Cool. So after you've registered for your exams, you're going to want to learn a little bit more about what we need from you with testing. So we've made a video for you, the testing webinar. And for those of you who prefer to learn by reading things, we also transcribe the video so that you can read the document. And we're going to do that for all of these overview videos. So it's very important that you fully read or fully listen to those videos, because we're also going to have you do this acknowledgement form and answer some questions. So we just want to make sure that you're aware of what you need to do for testing. So yes, after you do that, we want to make sure that you review our testing policy, acknowledge that you've read that, and then there's also a tab here for whenever you do your exams, you upload your testing scores to this Google form. When you keep going, you'll see that there are a couple things here that address the testing supports that we have in place for you. We talk about that all in the testing webinar, so you can just have a look at each of those and make sure that you're fully aware of what is at your disposal. There's also the hiring preparation tab. There is another video again there that will also be transcribed where we just talk about the entire hiring process, what you need to do to make your resume aligned to the TFA format, and where you will upload your professional headshot. It doesn't have to be professionally taken, it just has to look professional. And then we're going to have a tab there for certification, which is also pending another video where we will explain that entire process to you and break it down, and we'll also transcribe that so that you can read that if that's how you'd like to learn. And then you'll see again, there's another tab, the university application process. That is for whether you're applying to be a part of Penn or Relay, and that's where you'll just find out how you go about applying to those schools and those programs.
Great. So then the last two kind of buckets that you'll see down at the bottom are induction and institute. So the longer you spend in TFA, you'll know that we have our own special lingo for everything. And induction and institute are essentially part of your initial training. So induction is a 3-day experience that happens just with Philly core members here in Philly with the Philly team. Right now, we're asking you that you hold June 20th, 21st, and 22nd for induction, with the idea that the day after that, you'll be moving into institute, which is your 5 weeks of training. Both of these sections are going to be continually updated as we receive more information about them. So we'll be in touch with you about further assignments and other things that you need to do, but just know that June 20th, you need to plan to be in Philly. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily move into the apartment that you're going to live in, but you very likely won't have time to go back to your home before you begin teaching. So just think about that, like June 20th, you're here, you're ready, you're going to be in induction, and then you're going to be training for 5 weeks at Institute. So get that on your calendar now so it doesn't come as a surprise later.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're going to scroll back up to the top, and we're going to talk a little bit about the office hours section that we skipped earlier. So basically, these are the office hours that I am at your disposal to address any questions that you may have. It'll primarily be via Zoom. As you can see, there's a bunch of Zoom links here where you can copy and paste into your browser, and you can follow that link to join a video call similar to the one that we are doing right now. Or you can call me on my office phone, or you can come to the office if you have the ability to do that, where I will just meet with you and answer any questions that are going on. Being that you'll typically be able to reach me via email anyway, this is just an opportunity for me to address multiple people at once who may be having similar concerns or issues. So I very quickly just want to go over some communication norms that I will be expecting, being that I will be the main point of contact for you all. If you have an issue, your first step should be to review Google Classroom, the webinars or the transcripts of each topic, and other resources that we've put up, because they all include frequently asked questions, and maybe you'll be able to find the answer to that before you come to me. If your query is not addressed there, then I want you to email me first. I will get back to you within 48 hours. If many people are having the same issue in quick succession, I will start a Zoom call where you can join in, or you can watch the recording of it later. And you may call my office phone every day except for Wednesday, because we work from home on Wednesdays. If I don't answer, please leave a voicemail, because I will listen to it. And if I don't have the answer to your question at the time, then I will get back to you within 48 hours. I will post these norms somewhere where you can see them, just so that you're aware of the process that it takes when you need to contact me for anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
One final note on that, which is, keep in mind, there are a bunch of you and not quite as so many of us here in the office, and so we absolutely want to answer your questions. We want to make sure that you're informed. But we just ask for grace and patience, and that you really use the resources that are here. Google Classroom has endless amounts of information and resources, so please make sure that you've really read through the assignments, that you've looked at the checklist, and that you've watched the videos or read the transcripts before you reach out and email someone. We really want to build that habit. It's a habit of professionals and of leaders, which you all joined this organization to develop your leadership, and that's a huge step towards doing that. So just keep that in mind. Can't wait to meet you all, and I will sign off.
Thank you. Thanks so